This is Joe Leigh here for Seconds Out, and today I'm with the main man, Ready Money, Tyrieq Campbell, who boxed out of Repton Amateur Boxing Club. First of all, I want to talk a lot about your amateur career so far. Two-time national champion you are, but how are you, first of all, and how have you as an amateur boxer been dealing with things through COVID?
I'm great, thank you. How are you? And throughout COVID, it's the only really difference it has been is like the gyms being closed. In terms of like my grind, it's not affecting my grind. I still find ways to stay training. I'm staying in shape, you know, eating correct. So in terms of that, it's not been affected. The only thing is the gym's not being closed and not being able to use the gym, but I'm still putting in the work. I got local woods near me where there's a bag hand up, and it's literally me putting in the work in the bag in the woods and doing a bit of pads with my mate after. So in terms of that, the grind stays the same. I believe if you want something bad, then you're going to keep working for it. And I want this, you know what I mean? So in terms of the grind, it stays the same. It's just the gym being closed, really.
Without a doubt. And for people who don't know, talk to me a bit about your early amateur career, obviously a two-time national champion. Have you been at Repton your whole career?
Yeah, so obviously when I first started out boxing, traveled around gym to gym without fighting, just finding my feet. Then I went to Repton and it was a different caliber, you know, so I knew that this was home. So I've only ever boxed at Repton. All my fights have been Repton. I've been there a good 8 years now, so it's going well and I love it there.
Is there anyone in particular that's obviously fought there previously before your time, or anyone there now that just you look up to and inspires you, being as though it's such a historic club?
There's a couple of fighters that come out of there that are top level pros. Obviously, you got Darren Barker, Morris Hope. I'm not sure if you know of him. And then our fighters that were there at the time when I first started out, the Edwards brothers, Sonny and Charlie Edwards.
Yeah.
They were there, so I used to see them spar. Used to see all their flashy moves and that. But yeah, it's good for the. It's had a lot of champions. So I've seen a lot of champions come out. And obviously, Lawrence Okolie was there back in his day. It was there for a while, but then he moved on to another gym. So I used to see the Edwards brothers spar and stuff, see what their moves like. You know, as a kid, you think, oh wow. But yeah, Repton's constantly producing champions. So hopefully, I'm the next.
Definitely, and obviously, someone that you have just spoke about is Lawrence Okolie. You've sparred with him, haven't you?
Yeah, so I sparred him a few weeks back. With Lawrence, his journey's been, I feel like, rapid in terms of what he's done, and he just keeps winning. So he's got the British, he's got the Commonwealth, you know what I mean? And he keeps winning. I feel like if what he wants, he whatever he wants and puts his mind to, he can get. And it's just great to say that I've sparred him in the build-up to this, you know? So obviously, throwing the likes of Lawrence Okolie, I'm learning. But at the same time, they're seeing what I'm about and seeing what the future holds for me and where the future's at. So.
And when you go into spar, because you sparred a number of really good top world level opponents and just a load of different fighters, but when you go in there, obviously as the amateur, what is your goals? Is your goals to sort of help them out, but also maintain a good mentality so that when you get to that level, you can sort of figure out how these guys move?
My goal is like just to show what I'm about, really, more than maintain a mentality. Show what I'm about. See how far I am off of the stage that they're at.
Yeah.
And it's mainly just to show what I'm about. To show that look, I believe I can be the future, and this is what I'm about. Basically, pretty much like to show what I'm about, to show my skills, my ability, and to show that I deserve to be in the ring with them. Do you know what I mean? And I'm giving them. I'm having good rounds with them as well. Obviously, I'm walking away and I'm learning, thinking, oh yeah, I've learned this from the spar today. I'm happy, and that's what you need from sparring, you know, to walk away saying you learned. But at the same time, like I said earlier, they're seeing what I'm about, the skills and the talents that I bring to the table, and I'm just happy to help them in the build up to their big fights.
Yeah. And how would you describe your style for people who haven't seen you in the amateurs? What sort of style of boxing do you possess?
I believe I'm a bit flashy at times, but I believe I've got a lot of skills and a lot of talent that I bring and I offer, you know, to the ring. Mainly a skillful boxer with a lot of talent and a bit flashy at times, you know. Right now I'm going through all my growth spurts, so I'm in between flipping light heavy and cruiser.
Oh, okay.
But when I was competing, I used to compete mainly at 75 kilos, which is super middle. So right now I'm going through all my growing spurts ahead of my senior debut, and I'm floating in between cruiser and light heavy at the moment. So who knows where I'm going to end up? Soon heavyweight, heavily.
Yeah, the promised land, the promised land. And obviously, someone else at the gym is Caroline Dubois, who's a really good prospect at the moment. How's she getting on? Because obviously, she was wanting to compete in the Olympics.
Yeah, so obviously Caroline, I used to see her in the gym every week. She's highly talented. You know what I mean? You see her spar some people that are brought down from other gyms to spar, and she really gets done the work. But obviously now she's made that move on to GB, where she's about to fight in the Olympics. So good on her. You know, she got a record, I think, of 4-0. So she's doing well. She's doing well. And you know, obviously the Dubois name holds a lot of weight in the pro and amateur scene.
Mm-hmm. And as an amateur, obviously, who's about to go into the seniors, what is your goal in terms of when you will turn pro, or do you want to go to the Olympics first?
Yeah, obviously, I want to go to the Olympics. Like you said, I'm about to make my senior debut, so that's a bit more like the pros. You know, head guards are removed. You know, 3-minute rounds. So I want to go to the Olympics first. I want to keep winning in the seniors and win a senior national title like I've done at junior and youth. And then hopefully after I've achieved my goal and dream with the Olympics, I can push on in the pros and mark my name.
Which Olympics are you sort of aiming for right now?
Right now, because I haven't had my first senior fight yet, I'm aiming for 2024, hopefully. Yeah. So I would have had my senior bouts out of the way, experienced, you know, and then, hopefully the Olympic dream.
Nice. And obviously, you've met Daniel Dubois, Caroline's brother, before. Just a quick reaction to sort of the Joe Joyce fight at the weekend. Obviously, 10th round stoppage from Joe Joyce, but Dubois, he did well throughout the fight, but it wasn't his night.
Yeah, I believe it was a good fight. I only caught it from round 5, so I didn't get to see the beginning early rounds. So it was a good fight. You know, obviously Saturday wasn't his night. But he's young. He's only 23. He can 100% come again. You know, he possesses the talents and attributes to make a good, world-class pro. And I hope he bounces back because he'll definitely come again. Obviously, I really like the Dubois because obviously Caroline, Prince, I train with them, and then obviously his dad gets along with my dad, so they're a really nice family. And I really want Daniel to come back stronger and show what he's about. You know what I mean? Yeah,
of course. He's still so young. Still so young as well. But before I let you go, a couple more questions. Who else have you sparred that, you know, for your age is pretty impressive? Who else have you sparred? Obviously, Okolie. I believe Chris Billam-Smith as well.
Yeah, I sparred Chris Billam-Smith when I sparred Lawrence at the time. Another good pro fighting for the British. So, yeah, I'm getting in the experience I need ahead of my senior fights.
So you've obviously sparred a couple of great fighters, and including that, Craig Richards, I believe, very recently.
Yeah, I sparred Craig Richards a couple of times ahead of his clash against Shaq and Pierce for the British title. So I'm just getting in good work at the moment. So I'm appreciative to these pros for inviting me down to spar and being able to show what I'm about. So I hope that they do well in their fights.
Definitely. How do you think Craig's going to do it against Shakan on the 18th of December?
At the moment, I'm getting some really good rounds with Craig. He's looking sharp ahead of his fight. Doesn't look like COVID's affected him in any way to this fight. And I'm grateful that I've got him at his sharpest. You know what I mean? So, and I'm showing that look, I belong to a mix there as well. And I think he'll do well. I feel that there's a chance he can walk away with that British title. A big chance.
Okay. How many times have you sparred, and do you work on different things every time?
No, it's just like a normal spar, to be fair. There's no prisoners, like, it's just because they're pro. There's no prisoners, it's just like a normal spar, you know. I'm a big boy now, do you know what I mean? So it's good to get that kind of work. So where you're learning and progressing, you know, there's no prisoners. He's showing what he's about ahead of his fight, and I'm showing what I'm about, do you know what I mean? And that's really what the goal is right now, to progress so I come ready next year. Obviously, this year's been difficult. No matches you ain't been able to compete, do you know what I mean? So next year, it's preparing myself for the best I can be next year by sparring these pros and show them what I'm about.
And how many fights you hope to get next year if sort of COVID doesn't rule out amateur boxing and things like that? How many fights would you like to get?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure this yet because obviously we don't know how COVID's going to play out. Obviously,
Exactly. Yeah.
And, it's going to be my first year as a senior, so however many the club gives me, do you know what I mean? I'm willing. I'm making the sacrifices now this year through this difficult pandemic, sparring the correct people like Lawrence and Chris, and making all the sacrifices for next year. Really.
Brilliant. Well, obviously, as a two-time national champion, I could only hope for the best for you, and I hope you have a brilliant year next year. And I'll definitely catch up with you soon. Anything else?
Thank you. No. Joe's told me.
Socials,
Joe told me the socials are going to be at the bottom. Get following from now before I turn pro. At Ready Money Tyrieq. So yeah.
Make sure to do that. Obviously, good luck in the seniors for next year, and I'll catch you soon.
Thank you, mate.